Oh, we're live. Excellent. I see people popping on and everybody's coming in. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I need to move my camera over a little bit. All right, cool. Hope everybody's I hope everybody had a really good holiday this weekend. It's nice to have a long one, and I hope everybody's doing really good with their trucking business and everything that's going on. I haven't been able to come on live for a while. I've been really busy, and we're working nonstop over here with our companies. I mean, the brokerage is going, the compliance companies on steroids, and just consulting in general. What's up, DDD? Nice to see you. Did you have a great weekend? Hope you did. Excellent. My cell phone number's right there. Give us a call. I've had so many calls a day. You guys have no idea. We're just going through calls like crazy and freaking more numbers to call. It's just nuts. But I wanted to come on today and just talk. I want to talk about some of the stuff that I see where people are having issues with, and things that are going on, and things that we need to do with our business, right? And you know, if you guys haven't stayed tuned, the reason I don't go live all the time is because I'm just busy and we're working. It's building a company, and we're building a network to help companies grow their businesses. The compliance company, we're doing accident training, safety kits. We got Cornerstone doing the insurance. We had a bunch, and we're working with the different factoring companies. They're worried about their clients and their volumes, so they're sending us stuff to help them. We've been working with Thunder, and then some others have tried to call and stuff, and just Operify and referrals and different things going on to clients in general. And it's a weird world right now where 50% of the people are adding on trucks and growing, and 50% are on Facebook and low boards yelling about $1.50 a mile. You know what I mean? And if you guys look over to the left, right here on my screen, man, we are working hard. We have a huge team. Over here in the broker room, man, you got Isaiah leading his team with Dan, and they're quoting loads right now from freight we get. We're working on flatbed loads out of different areas and freight we're moving in. We've been working hard at this to get customers to be able to service our group and the clients, and we're listening to everybody make calls. We got Justin down here, man, and Justin in the group over here. He's doing sales, and him and William, and we're trying to cover freight, and we're growing, and it's cool to see the experience. What's up, guys? Nice to see you. I don't see everybody's names because of the software, but hey, how are you doing? Hey, if you guys have questions or comments, jump in. DDD says, yes, sir, grew out in the pool with family and now back to the grind. I know it, man. That's what we do every day is grind. And we're going, and we got Allie and Kathy. Man, they're over here working nonstop on compliance and accident kits and all this stuff that carriers need help with. Tire killer, man. I love your pictures, man, in the truck and stuff. I like seeing what you're doing now. I like your new gig you have. I like your picture with the shifter up there in the truck. Your truck's so badass. So, we got Allie in the house, and it's so crazy having everything in house. You know what I mean? I need to get on the sales call. We can help you with sales calls. You can even sit in with some calls with William and them. We're doing calls or calls with me. That's the thing that we're working so hard for with this business is not to always come and tell you guys how crazy you are or what you did wrong, or like Dan told me earlier about saying the load boards suck. It has nothing to do with that. It's to help you guys learn about tools. I'm going to change it because Dan told me. The load boards don't suck. It's just a tool. A tool that you guys need to be helped with. Tool that you guys need to use in a different way. And I'm going to talk about that today. Not only about what we can help you at Shaggy's with our companies, but also some tools and the way you need to think about networking today, other than freight chasing. Learning about posting and searching in directions. The whole point of this video was to ask, if you're sitting right now and you're working or you're on the load boards or you're booking or you're running your company, my one question to you, if you want to get away from load boards, or not, you never get away from load boards, but if you want to get away from brokers that use the load boards and find customers and find brokers that can be relationship status to give you dedicated volume and lanes, how would I find you? How much work are you doing to get them to find you? Because most great brokers I know, or even some customers, they don't want to put it on the load board. They use it as a tool. They want to they want you to tell them what you need so they can get the freight moved and move on with the process and get more freight. So if I was a customer or I was a broker right now today, how would I find you? How are you getting out to me, or are you just expected to fall out of the sky? That's going to be our topic here in a few minutes. And I'm going to give you guys some info to help you with this that we do in our one-on-one trainings to be able to help carriers. Now, will you do the work? Will you stick with it? Will you build the volume? Will you look for customers before you even need the freight so you can build the lanes? Or will you keep just working for today and tomorrow? That's the topic of the day. I need a new compliance company. Mine went out of business. Hey, D, just call me. You have my number, right? 812-870-2039, and I'll get you hooked up with ours today. And we can help you. We got some great programs going on, from everything from our driver's qualification system we're starting to do demos on, and we also have our monitoring that we do on a monthly basis to help you be proactive. And some people don't want to be proactive. I get it. We always wait for the thing to blow up before we fix it. That's the story of our life, right? Or we fall for the wrong thing. I understand. But we have all these people. Look, there's 7. We're missing 1, 2. We're missing 1, 2. We're missing 2 people in here. These guys come in every day at 8. And Isaiah's and Kathy and Don's team don't leave. And it's taken us almost 9 months to build this powerhouse one-stop shop where we can help you add owner-operators. We can help you with compliance. We can teach you how to build a network. We can help you with your brokerage. We can show you how to do the process. You know, before January, I always had to rely on all these other people that I helped build their businesses. Now I'm building my own, and I get to help you build yours while I'm building my own. It makes so much more fun. And so what I want to do is, I know everything's gloomy. Everything's crazy. Everything is just everybody's in a funk, right? We don't have really no answers for anything at the time, right? We're just like in limbo wondering what to do. I get it, guys. I've been there. This isn't my first walk in the park, man. I've had, do you do anything with transporters, or you just do freight? I work with both. I can help you with everything. My specialty is not like if you're talking about cars or whatever, or I can do drive away. I can help you with cars. We can talk about dump trucks. I've been doing this a long time and helped about every aspect, from bulk loads to doing, like, I worked with a big company out in West Virginia that's got like 300 trucks, and they do fracking, and I've been in every real part of the industry, but I am not an expert at everything. I have people I could call that are friends of mine that give me the stuff that I need to help you, or I could pass you along different things. But when it comes to compliance, the brokerage, building the company, running the company, networking, we got your back. We can help you. I've done it all. Or worked with somebody that has. So I wanted to talk. So now, you guys see the team over here? Look, we can look at these guys over here, man. They're in here busting their hump. Look at all these guys. This is no joke.
All right.
Those guys, I don't want to show you what we're doing because we're live on camera, but they're in there.
The email for the client, their phone number, and their mobile. Our email.
Say hi to everybody real quick.
What's that?
You're live on my live feed. Say hi to the compliance company to everybody.
Hey, oh, hi.
This is Kathy and Allie. Yep. And here's Dawn. She's not in there right now. So we have a huge team right here, guys, where we're working like crazy doing stuff. It's freaking phenomenal what we're able to use all the experience to be able to do. So if I was a customer, and if you guys have any problems with insurance, equipment financing, you need help with your brokerage, the trucking company, adding owner operators, flipping your equipment, learning how to build lanes and products, like I said, for the same thing I've said for the last years, all you got to do is dial that phone number, give us a call. If you're not happy with your current company or your current problems, let us help you do it, and we'll walk you through it step by step. We have one-on-ones available. I'm starting to have people come in person again to my office because they want us to come see me in person just as well as do it online. I'm good with that. Come on up. We'll work right here. We'll make live calls. Hell, we'll recruit owner-operators. We'll do whatever you need to help your business go. We want to solve your problems. That's what we're here for. Not just to make money off you, to help you grow your business, take a step forward, move, get a new vision because the one you have is stuck in the grind. You know what I mean? And I don't even care what everybody else is doing. All I care about is literally what you are doing with your business, where you're going to take it, how are you going to leverage it, stop giving away the money, run it yourself, and become your own boss. Stop giving everybody else the opportunity to take advantage of you. Run your own business. So, my question of the day is how is a customer, how would a broker find you right now? What kind of freight plan do you have? And number two, if you landed a customer or had an opportunity for a customer, would you know what to do with it? What would you do with it? What if that customer has more freight than your trucks can handle? What if the customer has more volume? If you had a customer call you or a broker call you and tell you about a customer in your backyard, or if you got out in your car and you drove around and handed out cards and you had the opportunity and they gave you a customer, number one, what would you do with it? How would you maintain the customer to get yourself off the load boards? Well, you never get off the load boards, but to service them. How can you do better than the guys that you're mad at? That's my question to the 4 people or how many, I don't know how many people are watching. But how would you maintain the customer? Do you even understand how? I mean, are you always yelling about brokers and you have a trucking company and my guys are calling customers? We just had one today we talked to that said they want carriers. Freight every day, all day long, but they want carriers. We're a broker. I have carriers. But do you know what to do with them? Do you know what to do with the customers to get you out of your current situation if you landed one? If you had a broker that had dedicated freight or contracts coming up in your area right now, specifically in a certain area, how could I find you to offer this freight for you when you only think about today and tomorrow and maybe next week? I get it. You don't want to reach out too far because the current brokers will cancel on you because they suck and you don't have no relationships with them. You just think you do because you buy one load at a time. Right? So, if you want dedicated lanes and you want consistent freight and you want the better rates than on the load boards, how would I find you to offer the freight to you to be able to give it to you? Yeah, I know you're in my broker system, but that don't tell me a lot. I got 30,000 carriers in my broker system. I mean, what the hell? But that doesn't tell me who you are. How proactive are you at letting people know, not only in your own backyard? Like, how many people did you grow up with or do you know in an area of a 100-mile radius of where you live actually know you have a trucking company? Like, literally. Dawn is looking for one more person to help her in dispatching, and you can get a hold of her or call me. So back to the same topic. You guys tell me. I want to hear from the 6 people floating through. If I was a broker with dedicated freight in an area where you want, or I was a customer that needed carriers that I wanted to work with direct, how would I find you? How would I find you? And if I found you and I was a customer, would you know what to do with the freight? That's the geek. That's the key because we're finding customers. Some of these flatbed customers that we're calling, they'll work with 1 truck carriers, 3 truck carriers because they can handle the billing. So then, at that state, if they can handle the billing, you'd be super beneficial because you're service them and they don't have to have people. So what's Carrier 411 going to do for you, D? If I go in Carrier 401, yeah, it gives me trucking companies. FMCSA, that's a good one. What about eCarrier Check, the one right here on my wall or on this back of my screen right here? If I go there, that site will give me hundreds of carriers too. But if I look at those carriers and I call 100 of them, half of them want freight right now, and the other half of them are freight chasing, so their numbers are out of the water because they don't have no plans. So if I was to go down that list of carriers and look at FMCSA or Carrier 401, it doesn't tell me nothing but how many trucks you have, where you're located, what type of trailers, and stuff like that. It doesn't tell me what you want, does it? And I don't really want to take the time to call a whole bunch of people and ask them all day long and get them mad at me because hell, half of them won't even answer the phone because half the people are blowing up their phone every 40 minutes. You know what I mean? Like 60 calls a minute. You guys get those calls. You don't think it's imaginary. I'm just making this stuff up, right? So if I can't get through those guys and you're not telling me that you want freight from Indy to St. Louis for 60 to 70 days out, consistently multitasking between 12 and 4 every day, then how are you going to make it work? Like, do you have a spreadsheet set up for when you're in those shipper docks or receivers or when the broker calls me and says, man, we're bidding on this load right down the street from your house. It's 1 or 2 loads a day or 1 load every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and we're looking for a carrier to quote it. You're like, wow, man, I wish I could find something like that. And the guy just called you and told you, and you're not even, what if you are signed up with him? Obviously, they're looking for trucks still, so they haven't solved the problem. He just told you the name of the customer. He just told you where they're at. They just told you they're down the road, and you still don't know what to do with them. Or you're scared to walk in the door. Or you're scared to ask for something. What is really the difference between a broker and a customer? You think all customers are good? You think all brokers are good? But if you're not constantly looking for new ones, or people that have your product, I get it, guys. Most people won't listen to me because they're freight chasing, they're on the load board, and they're worried about getting too far ahead because the current brokers they use will cancel on them or they'll run behind and piss somebody off or something like that, right? So do you guys keep a spreadsheet like I used to? It's just a simple Google Doc? The difference is the middleman. What's the middleman? Like the middleman, everybody says that. If you go with a broker and the broker gives you your $3 a mile on every load, and you kick out the other 19 brokers, you find one broker every day that gives you the money you want. But does the middleman matter anymore, or is it just because the middleman's taking something that you won't do yourself? Because if you were doing it yourself, you go to customers, you wouldn't be worrying about middlemen, would you? But then, oh my God, then you got to become the middleman yourself because if you only have 1 truck or 3 trucks, then you got to have a brokerage to leverage the freight. What kind of carrier are you? What was your goal for starting this business? What are you going to do with it? Why don't you understand what the value of an owner-operator? So how many have a simple Excel spreadsheet like this? Let me show you. I don't know what I'm doing. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So do you guys? I mean, like, are you guys always working? Like when you get up in the morning at 7 o'clock in the morning, right? And then you go through. You get to 8. You did your check calls. Everything's going, and you went through all your emails and took your highlighter and all those thousands of emails you should have coming in every day, and you look for specific loads, or do you guys just go everywhere? Like St. Louis to Indy, Columbus to here, there, or from there to there. Is specific loads, or you just look for the ones that pay the best? Do you look for ones that you could do over and over in volume and ask for them, or do you look for just that one today and maybe the one tomorrow? You know what I mean? What do you guys do? I mean, I know most of you are lazy and don't want to do the ghosting and don't really want to answer all the phone calls. You just want it to fall out of your lap. I get it, right? I get it, okay? But, really, you're running a trucking business. You got to pull your head out of your ass and start networking and making volumes of calls to customers and understand what to do with them and grow your trucking business. If you just be one truck guy, hey, I get it. It doesn't mean you still can't get customers either. You can partner with people, do different things. You can go and sell customers and and float the freight over to Shaggy's. You always have a team. Oh, wait. That might be the problem. When you look over the shoulder, you have no team. You have people that take your money, but you don't have people that are there to help you. Like, you don't have people there to help you move the extra freight that want to benefit your trucking company. You don't have people that want to help you diversify and help you run it to be able to diversify your company. You're just stuck in a groove. But let's get back to today's topic, networking. If I was a broker or a customer and I had dedicated freight or freight that you wanted a 150-mile radius of where you live, out and back to a city and come right back to another city, or stuff that went regional, like, for example, Indy to St. Louis to Indy, and around Indy and around Indy to St. Louis. So that way you can only run 2,000 miles a week, but you could do a 200 to 300-mile trip out, and you could pick up a local one and make $1,400 a day. Or you can go and pick up a load and come back and deliver it the next morning, but never leave St. Louis to Indy. You're like, well, how do I do that? Well, you got to tell a ton of people that you're there. You got to let people know you want it. You might even have to lie to people and tell them that you have more trucks than you do so you can get them to offer you the volume. You might have to know how to do inbound calls and be like, blah, 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 when it picks up, when it delivers, what's the weight? Do you guys have your own trucks? Is this the only load you have? How much volume do you have in this certain lane? Oh, and you investigate. And this should be done between 12 and 3 every day when the load boards are dead. You use the load boards to post and search with direction. How many times do you go and find a load on a load board, and instead of just looking at it one way, you go and make a new search and you actually put the load that you're looking at in there by origin and destination, but go out 30 to 60 days to see if it has any volume to it with that current broker or other brokers, and then make the call and find out if you can have all 60. You're like, really? Yeah, I'm talking about taking them on your desk over there, right there on your desk, and stacking them up. You're like, well, what happens if one falls out? Well, it's life, motherfucker. Fucking deadhead back, pick up another one, and keep your account. I mean, what the hell are you talking about? It's called networking. You got to pick up your phone and freaking work. You know what I mean? Like, make those calls. Call customers. Make spreadsheets. Build your spreadsheets. Make one for customers. You don't even have to be high-tech and buy software. See how I have customers on there. When I called, now I'm getting ready to go with my Scooby car and go out and hand them business cards. They're right here. And, you know what I mean? I'm ready to go. And then I'm going to bring the freight back and let the boys move them. And I'm even going to take my business cards for my brokerage and my other companies in there, and they're on the back just so my customers know I do more than one thing. You know what I mean? And then, do you guys understand that there's really 3 types of brokers, and you should have your spreadsheets set up like that? There's the brokers we don't care about that only do the 5/5s, and you can't understand them. They're from a third world country or whatever the hell, and they think you want to do business with them. Well, you guys do. You like, not you guys, but people do, because they like getting short paid, frauded, not getting paid, because those guys always pay better than the ones that are legit. And then you got networking brokers that can work for you, but they're like the 50-50. When freight's good, they work with you. When freight's bad, they're a cheap sucker. And you're always dealing with a account rep. You never actually talk to the guy that has the customer. You're just dealing with people that work for people that have customers, and all they do is look at a computer system and tell you, oh, that's all I got all day long. Those are called network. You know what I mean? When they're good, they're good. They're bad, they're bad. But what they do have is email list of freight and load boards of opportunities of problems that customers aren't getting covered. And if you guys would wake up, you would know those are tenders. It goes from a customer to the broker, take some stuff off, email it out to carriers, send it out this way, and then they get it covered. That's called tenders. That's a process. If they can't get it covered, they give it back to the customer. If they, you know what I mean? So why can't you cover it? They can't cover it without trucks, so why don't you? Well, you must know how to do something with the freight when you get there. It's kind of weird. Why do we not get customers? Because the customers know that 1, 2, 3 truck companies, 5 and 6, don't know what to do with it when they get it. They can only handle what they have. They don't understand how to move it. It's like you walk in and say, "Oh, I'm in logistics. You guys doing flatbed freight. It looks like you do drop and hook and live load." And I was wondering, are you guys taking on any new brokers? Or are you guys taking on any new carriers? Or do you like both? Because I happen to be both. I'm in logistics. What do you need right now? I can be one or the other. Because if you just take carriers, how many trucks do I need to have? If you're taking brokers, how long do I have to be in business for you? If you're a trucking company and only work with carriers, you ask, well, I can bring my trucking company in there, but I don't want to mess up or leave any freight on the table. So if I did come in with my trucking company only and I had freight that I had trouble because the truck broke down or whatever, would I be able to find some of my friends to do it, carriers or broker to them? Or do I have to just give it back to you and upset you and leave it on the table? You know what I mean? Like, are you guys handicapped and you can't talk, or you just don't like working? You don't like making the phone calls? You don't want to build a simple spreadsheet that can be on your cell phone, so when you're in that receiver and the guy says, "Man, Jose, you did the greatest job in the world, man. You're the first guy to actually deliver it on time in 10 days with these brokers we're using." You're like, "I'm here all the time. I can work with you." Well, that's back soliciting. No, it's not. He approached you and told you how great, and he told you how the broker he has currently sucks. But you didn't do nothing with it. You don't even keep a notebook around of people you talk to, people you work with, people in receiving, people in shipping, locations, but you're a trucker. If you just want to drive a truck and drive down the road, then go lease on to be an owner-operator somewhere or go back and be a company bitch. Nothing against company drivers. You know what I mean? Learn the difference between a network broker, a broker that just uses load boards and outsources everything, and a relationship broker that he wants to give the freight to you or email it out to his current guys before he ever sticks it on the load board. Those guys are looking for carriers that tell them what I want. How many people use multiple software sites to post 30, 60 days out with lanes that you're totally interested in for volume? Even when the guys call you with the one of those loads in those lanes, do you ever, if I was you guys right now, I'd be searching with direction, I'd be posting with direction and refreshing at 8, 12 noon, or 8, 12, 4, and 8 every day, saying specifically what I wanted. Charlotte to Indy, Indy to Cleveland, Cleveland to Charlotte, Buffalo, New York to Syracuse, New York. I don't care what it is and what type of equipment, because if people don't know what you want and they can't find you, they're not going to give it to you. And all the dedicated contracts in the real freight is never going to be on the load board. It's there, but it flies through so fast unless there's major volume. What are you guys doing to help your business? Why do you guys always stay in the funk? When are you going to step up to the plate and become the business owner you thought you were? Just like me. I'm right here with you guys. Shoot, I've lost more money doing stupid stuff in this industry. You have no idea. I've gave so much away. I've done this, done that, but that's all in the past. And you can't dwell over it because I let it happen and did it. It's my fault. I get it, right? It's like that. Loser. Lots of stupid excuses repeatedly for oneself, but blames everybody else. You can't do that. Step up to the plate. Become a boss. Stop giving your stuff away. Run a business. Learn how to do multiple streams of income. Build a network. Stop being the guy or lady that's in there when the load boards go dead. You're sitting there sticking your finger up your nose going, "Oh my God, my job sucks." Because there's so much more stuff that you need to do. Why are you not calling customers? Why are you not building relationships? Why are you not filling in lanes? And why do you think freight chasing and going all over the place, even if you stay in one region where you're never in the same place twice unless he gets lucky and somebody calls you back? Why do you think that's trucking? It's a questions for you guys. Do you have questions for me about what I talked about? Do you have any questions about networking, posting with direction, searching? I want to tell you more about it, but I don't want to give out all my secrets right here on Facebook because people don't do things right. But I'm telling you, if you're not out there 30 to 60 days letting all these people from customers to brokers on a daily basis, I mean, how many people take 2 to 3 hours a day to call customers and brokers and build relationships so you can MailChimp them and campaigns of what you need all the time so they remember to sell for you before others? You guys do that? Are you doing it? Or are you just chasing your butt behind, crying, looking for that that big group over there where they started the OI and a reject group over there, where now they're got 36,000 people in it. You got to pay $125 for 3 months, and then everything's included in the group. It's a mandatory communist freaking thing. You go in the group and you post the wrong thing, they burn your house down. Group. Or are you going to run your own business and take care of it yourself? Stop worrying about everybody else. What brokers are leaving on the table and what they're keeping. You can't do nothing about it, but all you can do is sell yourself to everybody you can. How many people do you sell yourself to? And what kind of network do you have inbound coming to you on a daily basis? And are you too lazy to pick up the calls, or are you one of those little sleeping beauties that can't sleep, that can't work 24/7, but you own a business and you're an entrepreneur? Do you have a spreadsheet? Do you have a MailChimp? Are you using my favorite site in the world? And we use it all day long, every day. This one right here. I mean, they can't make it much easier for you guys, right? Like, my company uses this like crazy. I don't care. I mean, they're all right here. I mean, you got brokers, you got carriers, you got shippers. You can set up email campaigns, templates, upload it across and send it out in blast. I mean, I don't know what else we have to make it easy for you guys, but you have to do the work. No dispatcher's going to do it for you. No company's going to give it to you. You have to sell yourself, your product to others so you can build a local, dedicated, regional, and service customers because you're in the area all the time. Did you ever think one and done was, or one-way freight was ever? Who's Desmond? Is that e-carrier check? It is, Desmond. I love this site. I mean, when you can go and search carriers by location, you can recently added, you can do monitoring, advanced lookup. And really, my favorite part too is sometimes when you find shippers, you go on here and find shippers. And what's really cool is when you find the shippers, Jared and Nate have got it to where you can find carriers. And it shows you the size of the carriers, so you're not going to call 1,000 truck carriers and say, yo, man, I'm really fascinated with that customer you're working with over there. You know, could you tell me all the secrets about your customer? Because I'd like to go in. And it's not going to happen. But if you call a guy with 1 to 5 trucks, you're like, yo, Desmond, my name's Shaggy, man, and I see you're located over here in freaking Indianapolis. And I noticed that you guys work for this customer, this time. Do you guys have your own brokerage, or do you go on direct, or you get that freight through brokers? They're like, how the fuck you know that stuff? Because I network like crazy, and I'm wanting to branch out a little bit. And I was just wondering because I see you're working for these guys, and I'm working with customers too. So are you going direct, or you guys just are you your broker already, or are you just a carrier going through brokers working with these guys? You'll be surprised just because the way you ask questions. They'll be like, yeah, we're going through a broker. Wow, I didn't know they worked with brokers. I thought it was carriers direct. What broker are you work with? Next thing you know, you're stepping in on their territory, and they didn't even know how you did it. They're still trying to figure out how the hell you found out who they work for. Just saying. But, if you don't want to do the calls, I get it, guys. You don't want to network? I get it. Just go throw your head in the cave, stick your ass in a hole in the ground, and put your feet up and dangle them around a little bit till somebody comes along and tries to pull you out. You know what I mean? Because you're not going to get anywhere. You know, personally, I would definitely start as a carrier. And, you know, depending on how you're coming in. If you're coming in as a investor, I'd start as a carrier and do straight owner operators across the board, because if I'm not driving and I don't have a CDL, I don't need to be in there. And I don't want to get a CDL because it'll hurt me even worse than what I already am by having a CDL because of my experience. And I would lease on owner operators. And I'll tell you percentages and what I do and why. But if I told you what I would charge for owner operators, and everybody be like, well, that's too high. Well, that's high for some people, but the ones that have been in business a long time aren't cheap. It's like that commercial on TikTok with the guy that does all the concrete work. If you guys want cheap, don't call me. I show up. You want guys to do this, you know? I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? If you want to make $7,000 to $8,000 a week for 50 weeks, be home every night on the weekend, run local and dedicated, and do this consistently, then I'm the guy to call. If you want to be out there freight chasing the almighty dollar, running to fucking Laredo and down to Dallas and back over to the Northeast and over to Florida and out to Denver, then back to LA and over this way and call that fun because you're chasing the hottest markets, then by all means be that dumb guy. I'm not doing that either. It's not, you can't build anything off that. It's just, you're always dictated by the markets. So I would do owner operators, and once I had the first one, or the second one, and then I would add the brokerage, and I'd keep it separated. And the reason, if I ever added more than one truck, I would definitely have a brokerage so I can be able to service the customers as a 1 to 5 or 10 truck company and be able to do something more. It's like having the business card where you're in logistics. You're a carrier, you're a broker. What do you tell me I need to be so I can service you and other people can't come in and take my shit? If I was going to be doing a brokerage, I would definitely want to understand dispatching, building lanes, cost of operations, and the maps and lanes and seasons on my map on my wall, and the difference between the spot market and local, dedicated, and regional, and how that works. And it's going to be very important as a broker because a guy that freight chases, that doesn't go home, that's not consistent, that doesn't have a product, he's always going to cost you more because he's always one and done. A guy that wants the consistency, he wants the volume, and he wants to go home on weekends and keep his guys there, he'll do it for less and he'll be more consistent and serviceable. But you can do however you want. It's totally your choice. You know what I mean? But you even look on here, and nothing against e-carrier check, but there's tons of brokers on here that I can email. But the problem is most of these brokers are dumb because until they get freight, they don't think they need trucks. That don't even work. They might get some broker packets, but they ain't sold any of them. So until they get freight, they don't need trucks. Which is crazy because you should have the trucks first. Because if you don't have the trucks first that are committed to your credit as a broker, then how are you going to get people to pull when you actually get a freight to bid? I mean, you ain't got no credit. You don't have the money to prepay the account and all that good stuff. I mean, what are you going to do? Please. Yeah, that's what makes you bigger. It's like having a business card like this, Desmond, where you're like, hey, my name's Shaggy. Like when you call in to a shipper, right? You're like, you got two people answer the phone. You know, one's going to be what they call a gatekeeper. I call it an information system. And the other person's going to be the guy that you may or may not have the freight that you need, your contact. And whether you went to LinkedIn or Zoom Info and you found it out already, it doesn't mean that's the right guy. Some of the biggest guys on LinkedIn don't even handle the freight. They just wear the title, look good, and they put people in place underneath them to do all the work. So when you call these people, are you in logistics? Are you a broker? Are you a carrier? Are you all three? And until a customer tells me what I don't need to be, why wouldn't I be a chameleon of all of it until I find out? It's not like I'm going to lie, you know what I mean? Like if a guy tells me I'm a carrier with 3 trucks, don't tell him you got 10, because when you pull in there with the other 7 that don't have your name on the side of it, there could be a good chance you get your ass kicked, you know what I mean? Or in trouble. So if you just be logistics and you're both, you're the broker, you're the carrier, and then you're the dispatcher to other carriers that can't book the loads themselves because, fuck, you don't want to put it on the load board. Just me, Rebel, 812-870. It's in the comments, the phone number. It's on my screen right here. Right next to my name, that's my phone number. So the question is, how are you networking to get customers and brokers to find you, to give you what you want? Between 12 and 3 every day. 12 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3. You know that time when you're going to shoot yourself in the head because it's fucking dead? What are you doing? Where's your spreadsheets? Where's your posting with direction on all the different portals? How are you using eCarrier Check to build your base? It's really not hard. Like, check it out. You just go right here. It's really hard. So while you're sitting in the truck and getting loaded or unloaded, or you're doing whatever the fuck on the phone, you're sitting at home doing nothing on the weekend before you go out, and you know you're already delivering in a certain area, you just go out here. Search shippers by location. They even got it over here on the side where you could kind of do it by equipment and everything, so it's really specific, you know what I mean? And then you put your location. I'm going to be in Indianapolis. Or I live in Indianapolis. Search. And I did it for dry vans, just so you know. Bam. There's customers right here in front of you. I don't even have to buy nobody's scripts, software, shippers list, or anything. Pick it up. Volume high. Volume high. Volume very high. Volume mega. All these different customers. It tells you about their volume, where they're running based off the rate cons and the bill of weightings that Jared's uploaded from actual loads. You know what I mean? Like when you click on them, it gives you like everything right here. Even it tells you where they're located. It'll tell you some of these guys who they use. So this company uses Dobbs Trucking with 50 trucks. And they need to find a new carrier because this guy needs a new safety department because their safety score is at risk, right? So we're going to pull up their information real quick and see where they're running. Because if this carrier works for that customer, it'll show me where his trucks are moving. And then it'll show me right down here if he's working for more than one place. So this guy works for Interlink, SofaMart, PKCD, SofaMart, Trucking Pro, Old Richardson Brand, and Cascade Tissue. I wonder how many of these are direct. I mean, he's only got 50 trucks. So is he working for all those customers direct, or are they going through brokers? That's a good question because they got 50 trucks. It could be 50-50. This is why they're in trouble because they got 6 crashes. What do you think their maintenance program's like? Well, I mean, these guys are pulling this customer's freight. 6 crashes. I wonder how many trailers got messed up in those loads. So just a theory. You look at these guys, it tells you everything about them. You look at the customers, it tells you the carriers they're pulling for. A lot of times, too, when you're looking on eCarrier Check and you're looking for customers, you'll find the carriers, and you'll have a list of different carriers, from big ones to little ones. A lot of times, those big ones are the ones that are brokering the leftover freight to the little ones. And you were looking for the broker that services that customer so you can get on the freight. It's right here on eCarrier Check if you're willing to make the call. But I know it's not like on a load board where they put it there, you call, they give it to you, you sit out a pack, you get it back, and all that stuff. You have to do a little more work. But isn't that what you do when you own a business? Okay, I'm at 45 minutes. We've kept a nice little crowd. I don't know why I don't get out there more. I hope you guys really love the information. If you're having trouble with networking, building lanes, relationships, compliance and safety, or any of that stuff, guys, dial the phone number and call Shaggy's group of companies. We got Shaggy's Compliance and Safety, Shaggy's Logistics, and we got Shaggy's Dispatching and Shaggy's Consulting to help you. I mean, it's a one-stop shop, and we have a few other partners like Thunder, and we got Thunder, and we got a few others that we're working with still, Cornerstone Insurance and different guys like that to help you with the rest of it. With no MC number, the task to post trucks 30 to 90s out, build lanes between times. Nah, that's not true, Desmond. I could show you how to post with direction on the load boards like I'm talking about in a 1 hour consulting or 2 or 3 hours. If you want, if you really want to answer these questions, go to shaggyconsulting.com, Desmond, and put there's on my there. I do one-on-one training where we can work together, and I'll show these screens. We'll do share screen, and I'll show you how to set this up to make your phone blow off the hooks. And and that's the stupid part about it, right? I'm so tired of people out here telling people that you can't get any done in 90 days. This in the first 90 days, we need to age our authorities. You know, it's crazy because that's not true. Because when we need you and we see it, we'll call you and offer you freight. But when you're calling out, they're always the first thing on the phone. They're like, "What's your MC number?" You know what I'm saying? Hey, because you always start off like, you do, man. Step up and go. You got knowledge. Well, we have the whole team to guide you, brother. You already know, man. These guys are in here working like crazy for you guys to build this company. It's not just me. I have the whole team, man. They're busting their ass like crazy. So in times when it's not free and it's hard, we work. That's what we do. We don't complain. We don't cry. We don't moan. We work. We put our stuff to the grindstone. We start making those calls. We start networking. We use our resources. We don't just sit there and wait for it to fall on the broker board or hope C.H. Robinson does it for us. Or, if you're a one-truck guy, that works great. Hopefully. No, not really. But, having an account manager, C.H. Robinson, keep when it's great, they run you around. You don't use nobody but C.H. Robinson because they got a quick pay. Hey, whatever floats everybody's boat. If it's paying your bills and the customer's doing it and you're making your numbers, then by all means stay with it. But if it isn't, then change. Change something. Don't be dumb. Don't wait for somebody else to do it for you. Learn how to do it yourself. Take advantage of the situation. Be proactive. Have a little bit of faith in yourself. Get the knowledge. Build a network. Make a local, dedicated, regional. Post with direction, search with direction, and get on e-carrier check and build a spreadsheet so you can make those calls. If you're not doing it and you're not being specific, then that's why you gave up and it didn't work. Because you weren't doing it as a process. You can't just randomly fly by night any of this stuff. You have to get into it, get it in your head, and be proactive and commit to it. Or it's not going to work. And you're always going to be taking over somebody's leftovers or being left behind or that one guy that's a time bomb away from being broke. Do you really want to keep doing that? And back to what I was saying again, it's when people need you, they don't care about the 30 to 60, 90 days. When people are selling shit on a load board, they do the 90 days of stuff because they're playing games. Well, the bigger ones are they know who they're dealing with, and that their customers are that good that they don't want to lose them because of the dispatching and the inadequate education of the trucking industry out there. But real guys, when you're calling people about volume and filling stuff and working with relationships, so far, I've always seen people change the policy and work with you. Because is the relationship one and done? Is that how you're calling me? Or you wanting to really work together? And if you really want to work together, what's your product? Running all over the place, just call me when you need me? Or do you want me to help you build lanes all the time? That's the question. So if I was a customer or a broker with the freight that you wanted, how would I call you to offer you because you told me what you needed 2 to 3 to 4, 5, 6 weeks from now, not today and tomorrow? And I understand. How can you book freight when you don't know if you're going to be there? You might have to figure that one out there, buddy. You guys have a really great day, and I miss talking to all you guys. I hope I helped you guys with some cool stuff. I would get more in depth, but everybody likes to take what you have. So I just want to share. I was going to break down some more stuff, but I think I'm going to stop. You guys have a really great day. And we here at Shaggy's Consulting, man, and Training Group and the Compliance Company, we really love you guys and appreciate you 100%. And And another note, I can't wait to show you guys my new wrap Scooby car that's coming out here on Thursday from when I wrecked it the other day. I almost got it done. It's going to be brighter and nicer than ever. I can't wait. I miss having my Mustang. You know, driving the motorcycle is cool, but the Mustang is my baby. And I can't wait to do sales videos of me going out to customers and dropping off business cards and showing you how it, and letting you guys know how the experience went while I'm driving my Scooby car. I might even walk in a Scooby t-shirt too, like that. You know what I mean? With my the race car that's on the front of it. Who knows? Now I'll actually put on a nice shirt. Just kidding. But I am going to wear the hat with my Scooby pin. But we're going to be doing that here next week. Hopefully. I'm waiting for it to come out. They said it could be done by Friday. I'm excited. And but you guys, networking sells. Networking sells. If the networking and sales is your weaker side, you got to get people to help you. No one's too old to learn. Take time to step back. But if you just want to sit in your seat and drive, then I understand. Guys, you have the choice to do anything you want. You're the awesome one. No one else can stop you. It's all in your hands. Peace out. And please share.